Hello, my friends. Today we are going to continue on with measurement, and instead of doing length of what is longer and shorter, no thank you, today we are going to work on heavier and lighter. So who remembers yesterday when we were using those objects? We were saying, which one is heavier, a piece of paper or a pen? How did we figure that out? How do we figure out which one's heavier?
So if they're heavy, they're going to be stronger.
Okay, it weighs you down a little bit. How could we tell? Did we hold it in both of our hands yesterday?
No. Yes.
Yeah, we did. So we would hold scissors in one and a book in the other. Could you tell which one felt heavier?
Yes.
Yeah, we could tell. We could tell that the book was way heavier because it made our hand go down a little bit more. It was harder to hold on to. But what about the things that we're not sure? We're not sure if it's heavier or lighter. So for those things, my friends, we have a very special math tool. It is called a scale or a balance. So a balance, my friends, what does that word mean, to balance something? What do you think, Celise?
It's a balance is if you can balance it on your finger.
Okay, so he's saying balance is if I can balance something like this. Can you balance on your feet? When you guys are walking outside and you're trying to walk on one foot and you're going on that really skinny path? Is that balancing?
Yes.
So on both sides of her body, thank you, Miss Jazzy, while she's balancing, she has to keep both sides of her body with equal weight so she doesn't what?
Fall.
Yeah, so she doesn't fall over. So this is what a balance is, my friends. A balance shows us on both sides which thing is going to go down and which thing is going to go up, which thing is heavier and which is lighter. So how will we know which thing is heavier? What do you think, Daniel?
Ones they don't have less thing because.
But when we put it in the balance, how will we know if it's heavier or lighter?
Because those cups are there, so they don't fall out.
Let's test it out. Let's figure out how we're going to do this. So for the first thing, my friends, I have got a wooden rectangular prism, and then I've got a foam hexagonal prism. So my friends, feel that, Jason. Is that wood or is that foam? What about that one? Is it wood or foam?
Wood.
Which one do you think is heavier? Jason thinks this one's heavier. Who agrees with Jason?
Me.
Do you think we can just tell?
Yes.
Let's figure it out. I'm going to put one in one side and that one in the other side. Was he right?
Yeah.
How can you tell?
Because the big one's bigger.
Because it's bigger?
No, because it has wood.
Because Jazzy said it went down. The heavier one went down. Okay, my friends, what if I forgot to say something first. Look at this line that is right here in the middle of the scale. Miss Finn, it's on the side here. It's lining up with the very middle of our scale, my friends. Why is it important that we start the scale in the middle, exactly even? Why do we have to start it that way? What do you think, Marius? Thank you, no thank you. Why does it have to be exactly even instead of one side like this before I start weighing things? Who has an idea? Who thinks it has to be in the middle before we put anything in the cups? Why?
Because it has to be equal before you put something in.
Yes, it has to be exactly the same so that we can tell which one's heavier and which one's lighter. If we start off and one's already dipped down, can we really tell if the thing we put in there is heavier or not? No, because it's already weighing down a little bit. It has to be exactly the same. So let's try this again. Let's take this foam block. Let's put it back in here. Oh, and now let's take, how about one of these plastic bears that we like to use for our math manipulatives. Let's put that on the other side. Which one is heavier now?
Equal.
Is it equal or is it dipping onto one side a little bit more?
It's dipping.
Which side is it dipping to?
That one. No.
This one is a little heavier, my friends. You can tell it's dipping down and the line is not even anymore. It's coming off of the line, so nope, it's not even. One is heavier, and it's barely heavier. What if you guys were to take this in your hands? Could you just tell with your hands?
No.
It's really hard. It's very difficult to tell, so that's why we use a balance or a scale. No, thank you. Okay, let's try something else. What about this eraser? You think this is really heavy or not?
Heavy. Not heavy. Not heavy.
All right.
Heavy.
Let's put this in one side. What do you think might be heavier than the eraser? Out of all these things that I have on the floor, what do you think might be heavier? Jazzy thinks the marker. Who thinks that might be heavier?
Me.
That's hard to tell, isn't it? Let's use the scale. Let's use the balance. Which one's heavier?
That's heavier.
Wow, how can you tell?
Because it's stepping down.
The scale tipped towards the heavier object. The lighter object, it's like it's floating in the air, right? The heavier object sinks down. So if it tips towards that way, which one's heavier?
That one.
The marker. Let's all say it. The marker is heavier than the eraser. Let's say it the other way around. The eraser is lighter than the marker. Because we're not doing shorter and longer anymore. We're doing heavier and lighter. Okay, let's take those out. What do you think might be heavier than the marker?
Oh, this. That.
The wood block?
Yes.
All right, let's see.
The wood
Oh, which one's heavier?
This one.
You guys are good at this. Yes, the wood block is heavy. Okay, let's take both of these things out. What do you think, my friends, might be equal out of all the things that we've got? Let's try. Let's put one bear on one side. Are these exactly the same bear?
Yes.
Do you think they're going to weigh exactly the same?
Yes.
That's a pretty good estimation, my friends.
It's equal.
Is it equal?
Yeah.
Is it exactly in the middle? We got to stop rocking first. Is it exactly in the middle, my friends?
Yes.
It sure is. Okay, let's take this out. What if I put two bears over here? What do you think would weigh the same as two bears?
Equal.
What do you think is equal to two bears? What do you think, Sleeks? 2 blocks? 4 blocks. Okay, put them in there. Let's see if 4 blocks is equal to 2 bears.
It's not equal.
Which one's heavier?
The
The bears are heavier than the blocks. All right, that didn't work. Do you think something else can be equal to those bears?
Me.
The marble? Okay, Marius wants to try our foam block. Scooch that way a little. What about the foam block? Was it heavier or equal?
No.
Nope, the foam block is lighter than...
The bears.
Okay, let's try the... Man, that wood block is... It's heavy. Can we make... Let's see how many things we can get in there to equal this wood block. Okay. Let's do it slow. Oh, hold on. Okay. Oh, I don't think we're there yet. Is it still down this way or is it going down that way? Is it tipping towards the block or tipping the other way?
This way.
So which one is heavier?
The block.
The block is still heavier. Let's add in that other foam. That was too heavy. That was too much. Let's take this one out. Don't touch that, please. It took me a long time to calibrate that. Okay, what do you have in your hands? Do you have our blocks? Put them in there, Daniel.
Too heavy.
Too heavy again. Did you touch my calibration thingy? You did, didn't you? Did you touch this? All right, my friends. We're going to have to take this stuff out for a second. Hold on. So, if it is not exactly in the middle, what happens?
It's not equal.
Is it equal right now?
No.
So can I weigh anything? No, I cannot weigh anything if it is not equal. So please don't touch the calibration things and tools. Okay, we're gonna have to stop there because that actually took me a really long time to calibrate this. Okay, so my friends, what was the heaviest thing that we had today? What is this?
A block.
A wooden block is heavier than
All this other stuff.
than 2 bears. It's heavier than 1 stick. It's heavier than 1 marker. What weighed the same?
Heavier than this.
What was the lightest thing that we weighed?
These.
What was the lightest thing that we weighed?
We haven't weighed
We didn't get to weigh this one yet, but the lightest thing that we actually got to weigh was this nice little foam eraser. Very nice, my friends. So today, we are going to work on, so my friends at home, if you were able to make your homemade balance or scale, that is what the template here is for. We're actually going to write down, we're going to draw what was lighter and what was heavier on our actual scale. If you do not have one, you are not able to make one, just go ahead and use the one from our video or the video online. The work page and the homework you can do on your own. Go ahead and draw something in this box that's lighter than the ball, than the tennis ball. What would be lighter than a pumpkin? On the back side, it wants you to do heavier than. See how the scale is going that way now? What would be heavier than a feather? What would be heavier than an apple?
Wood block.
Make it something that I actually know what it is. Don't just make a block. Make like, I don't know, your sister, a cat, a hat, something that I know what it is. A block, there's a lot of different size of blocks, my friends. We don't know what block you're talking about. Is it a TV? Is it a chair? That works better. Don't just do a block. A marker? That would be something good. A little bear? Yeah. One of these blocks? Don't use those for your pictures. All right, my friends, if you need any help, let me know. We'll see you next time.
Bye.